So what I'm doing here is I'm actually putting two 3/4 inch PVC, electrical PVC conduit in the slots here, and then I'm going to epoxy around the conduit, and then on the back of the camper, I'm going to sandwich two plates of 1/4 inch aluminum by 4 inch on the ladder. And then in the middle, there'll be a 5/8 rod coming out. Put a couple nuts, and that's what's going to hold this on the back. So I'm just mixing up the epoxy right now, and I'm just going to pour it in here. So the other end's all taped off underneath, so hopefully it works. Guess we'll find out. So I mixed 2 parts of hardener to 1 part of the epoxy, and I don't know where my markings are. There they are there. So I just mixed it, and what I'm doing now is I'm just going to let it sit like I did with the other one and let some air bubbles come out first before I pour it. So that's the first one there, and I can see these little bubbles bursting here, so I think that'll be fine. Yeah, I think that's going to work. I guess we'll find out. I left the conduit sticking out so I can do a quick check with the square to make sure nothing's moving, because it does heat up while it's curing, and I just want to make sure that it's going to stay straight now and just cut it flush off later. So anyways, I'll just wait, give that about 10 minutes to get as much of the air bubbles out of there, and pour it like I did with this one over here. All right, so I got about 3 projects on the go here. I'm still waiting to install the batteries. I showed you already the workings on the inside here, but the hold downs for the batteries, I got to put the anchors in the floor first before I can put the batteries in, so I'm still waiting for them to show up. And you've already known I've started the project over here with the fuel tank on the outside, so I'll talk about that a little bit now. So everything's made out of either aluminum or stainless steel. That's the only 2 things. So I have the 2 outer plates here. Underneath there, I bought one of those kneeling pads, you know, that you can take to the garden with you. It's this right here. It's just kind of like a foam. And I cut it to fit on top of the aluminum plate, and I siliconed it, cleaned the plate with rubbing alcohol and also the pad, and then I siliconed it. And that's why the batteries are on there right now, just for weight. So that way when the tank is against it on the inside plate, it'll have that to rest against. And on the outside, I cut out of plastic, just like some big plastic washers. This is just some puckboard type material. And then I'm also going to put a circle with this foam on it. So this will go against the tank, and then the puckboard on the outside, and then the nut to hold it on, and the lock. So that's kind of my plan right now. And then what I also did is I took the rod and I put a piece of heat shrink over top of the rod. That way when this slides into the pocket on the fuel tank, which you've seen before, so when this slides inside there, it'll be sitting like this. So that way the threads don't dig into my plastic conduit. So I'll get that assembly going here, and that's kind of what it's going to look like on the inside, right? So this is going to be the inside bracket, and then the outside bracket, which is this one. I'm lying. The outside bracket is underneath the batteries right now, but this will be sandwiched in against my ladder. So you'll see it, and then I'm also going to be putting my my axe on the outside of the camper too, right beside the fuel tank. So What's the other project I got going on? So I got the fuel container I'm working on, the battery compartment. You've already seen it. Oh, I got to put the door back on. I took the door off that's vented because for lead acid batteries, and it's sitting on the truck there, so I'm going to put it on its face. I can't find a solid door, so I'm going to put it on its face in every single vent. I'm going to silicone it and make sure that it's waterproof, right? So I haven't decided yet. So once I close the cover, I haven't decided yet if I'm actually going to seal this edge all the way around, because on the inside of this wall, that's insulation right there, that shiny stuff. And I want to, I'm going to put a piece in here on this side and on the back side just to add some more insulation. So I want to go right across this, but I don't know. I'm still thinking about it. I probably won't. I'll put the insulation, but I'll probably keep it in the door so that way I can look to make sure I don't see no water penetrating, because if I seal it on the outside and then put this across the door, water could actually be getting in and I'll never see it. So I still think I'll do all the sealing that I'm talking about, but on the inside, I think I'll just cut a piece of the insulation and put it inside the door, but at least that way I can stick my head in the compartment and say, hey, it looks good, or hey, it looks like I see some water. So that's kind of what I'm thinking right now anyways, because I don't care how good you are, you'll never make it waterproof. That's the problem. Okay guys, so this should be the final installation of this. So like I said, I glued the backing on here, so then the fuel tank will actually rest against this. So let's put her together here. See how this goes. Okay, so I got the big washer, then the big spacer, and another washer. And I'm just going to put this together like this. And I have a bolt, a spacer, a washer that's got rubber on one side, and then the stainless steel washer is attached to it, and a nut. So the bolt goes through from the front into the spacer. Whoop, into the back plate like that. Put the washer over top like that. And a nut. Here we go. Okay. That's a trip hazard. Okay, so bolt. Start it there. This is where it might get a little bit tricky, getting this spacer in down at the bottom there. Now somebody was asking about putting something like this over my ladder. Well, technically, if I wanted to use my ladder, I could still use my ladder, right? This is not going to stop me from using the ladder. I just have to take the fuel tank out. But I have one of those retractable ladders that if I need to get up on the roof, because believe it or not, these are not the easiest ladders to get up on the roof. I'm not so bad. Freaking spider webs already. I'm not so bad because I have the boat rack. So when you get to the top of the ladder, you can grab hold of it and pull yourself up. But anybody that does not have the boat rack, it's hard to get over top of this awning when your ladder's way down here at the bottom. So it's to me, these ladders are more of a show thing than they are of actually being worth anything, because you could pretty well fall off trying to get up on your roof. So that's why I have one of those ladders that it goes out to 12 feet. Okay guys, that's basically what that looks like. So that's basically what it looks like, guys. Like that there, and that there. Okay. So the foam is there, so it'll keep the plastic off for the tank. And then I'll put the second one on. So I put that one on. I'm not going to bore you with the showing you how to put the second one on. I'll just go ahead and do it. And then when I get things leveled up a little bit, I'll just show you the progress. All right, I'll have you back in a minute. All right, I'm done with the fuel tank installation. So there she is there. So if you can see in the back here, there's that blue foam there. These are all tightened up. I double nutted the backs. I'm not 100% sure. Oh, you should be able to see that there. So they're double nutted. And then I got another foam. This is kind of one of those, oh, I should look at it. This is kind of one of those kids, you know, if you want the kids to have a playroom or whatever, that you snap these panels together to make just a small floor. Anyways, I got a hole saw and cut the rings out of it, also the hard plastic. It's the same plastic you saw me use in my truck for my DC-DC charger. It's like a puck board. So I'm using it as a big washer, and then I got the stainless steel washer, the nut, and then I drilled a hole, which was not easy, in the stainless steel rod to put locks top and bottom. So she's on there nice and secure. She is level. And the epoxy worked that I poured in there. And what I also did too is I put a piece of heat shrink over top the rod here. So when I slide this over, it's not the threads scraping the PVC pipe that's in there, so it's plastic on plastic. I believe that's going to work out good. And from the back here, you'll still see my tail lights, and I gotta do a better job of pointing the camera. You can still see my tail lights and the license plate. The axe is going to be supported up here, and I ordered a lock that has a cable on it. So I'm going to drill a hole right through here, right through the handle, and then that'll be locked on the back here. And that just slides down into the holder like that. Yeah. So that is that project completed. So anyways, guys, that one's done. I hope you enjoyed that project. I'm hoping that's going to last there a long time, because from start to finish, that wasn't a cheap job. That was 150 bucks for the jerry can. It was almost $80 for the epoxy. And by the time I'm done with the aluminum plate, that was 55 bucks for the aluminum plate, and then all the hardware. Yeah, you're probably looking at about $340 to do that project right there. But I think it'll be good. I carried the jerry can, not this one, but another can in behind my seat while I was driving. So that's never a safe thing to do, but that's what you kind of have to do sometimes. So anyways, now at least it's on the back of the camper. Anyways, guys, until we meet again, be good, be kind, be careful, and we will talk to you real soon. Bye-bye.